Orikilamutu.
Welcome, everyone, to the Apples in the Sink podcast. This should be our fifth one at the moment. My name is Jason. My friend over here.
John Watson. How's everybody doing today?
And Zach.
Zach, I gotta ask, what was that, Japanese?
Google said it was Swahili.
Okay. All right. I didn't hear any clicks or anything, so.
Well, that's because it wasn't Kalahari Khan.
Common misconception.
No, not really. I don't even know why you guys would think that.
I didn't understand any of those words. I'm sorry.
I have a hard time understanding you now, so. But that might be the alcohol. Who knows?
It's probably the alcohol.
Okay.
So, go ahead.
I was just going to say, we just played a fantastic game that Zach brought over called Zombicide.
Holy fuck, was that a good game.
Fantastic. What would you describe it as?
Zombicide is a build your own map survival game.
Board game.
Survival board game, yes. Where you face endless hordes of zombies with you and 5 other survivors. We were just playing with 3 people, so we each had 2 survivors.
Basically on the tutorial level.
Yeah, we were on the tutorial level because John never played before. Jason and I had played one game earlier before with Lauren, and we got dominated.
Our butts kicked very badly.
Yeah.
It hurt.
And
it took an hour for us to agonizingly die.
Yeah. I can see how a game like this could expand. I mean, the zombies spawn in regular intervals. Every time you walk into a new house or something or a new room, you can spawn zombies. And when you're searching or looting a room, you can find a zombie.
Yeah, that's always very interesting. Where it's like, oh, well, I'm the last one in this round. I'm just going to do a little searching. And, oh, no, zombies. Oh, I'm going to die.
Yeah.
The best way to describe, I think, is like Left 4 Dead, but for board games.
Pretty much.
And you have to worry about, let's say that your character has a shotgun and you can shoot into a room. You have to worry about all of your cohorts who are in that room because you'll probably hit them too.
Because unlike in the movies, when a zombie apocalypse does occur, you do not become a crack shot.
So the lesson here, folks, is
go to the range.
Get your what's the license card? Your Foyd card now. Go to the range. Learn how to fire a gun. I would also like to point out that the characters in this game, all the character cards are based on a lot of pop culture and horror movie and zombie horror movie characters and whatnot. They're very well drawn. The artwork in this is fantastic. If you have a chance, pick up what is the name of this game again?
Zombicide.
Zombicide and the expansion packs. A lot of fun.
I believe there are currently 3 expansion packs for it.
Just note the only one downside is when I was looking at them, they're like $60 to $80 a pop.
It's a Kickstarter. It is a
it is
a new company. And
it's worth it though. I plan on getting this for us and for our game nights. Yeah. It was a blast.
And each character there is, because I think right now there's, I don't know, maybe 30 characters. Each one does have its own skills so that each character does not play the same way.
Yeah.
And you have to specifically pick, like, hey, in our group we need this, because it's definitely not like one person versus a DM or a GM or something. It is everyone versus the game, which is very nice, and it's different from a lot of the other games we've been playing.
And as it goes on, it gets more and more difficult.
Just as a kind of a primer for the kind of characters you're picking from, my 2 characters were based on Ash from the Evil Dead movies and Cardboard Tube Samurai from Penny Arcade. I mean, I love it. It's fantastic.
I had Danny Trejo. That's how you pronounce his name, right?
Yeah, Danny Trejo from
Everything.
Everything. He was in. He wasn't in The Rock, but he was in Con Air.
Was he?
Yeah, tore his shirt off. He was one of the guys who was yelling from the top of the tower.
I know him from all the Quentin Tarantino movies.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's big, all 40 of them.
Huge, monstrous Latino covered in tattoos. Which, if you get a chance,
and
Machete Kill. That was. If you get a chance, listen to. He did an episode of Opie and Anthony, and he basically told his life story, and as all the badass characters that he plays. That's him, motherfucker. He's been to prison. He's done all that shit. The prison tattoos he has on his arms, he got in prison. I mean, this is a bad motherfucker. And now, he was serving as a bodyguard, I think, on a movie or something.
And that's how he got in?
And just got roped in, and that's it. So, and your other character was based on?
The other character I had was an original character that they had.
Oh, that's right. I think so.
Because I believe all of the characters from the original game were all original characters, and then as it went to the expansions, you get more and more pop culture characters.
Oh, that makes
Or
sense.
pop culture based characters.
That would make sense because I believe mine was Ivana Cocteau from the Venture Brothers cartoon, which is hilarious in itself. Oh no, because she didn't have an eye patch. Either way, it was pretty close to that. And then my other one, I believe, was Kevin Smith from Live Free and Die Hard.
Yes, the big chumbly guy. But then there's other characters based on like the dude from The Big Lebowski, as well as John Goodman's character, whose name escapes me. Various other.
Dirty Harry, I saw.
Yeah, as a Kickstarter, I don't mind spending the money on it. I get that. That's these companies make money. They have to make money to succeed. I'm the same way about mobile games on my Android phone.
Right.
I don't mind spending. I'll spend like $30-$40 on in-game purchases on a game, and then I'm done. Just because that's how they make money. And if a game's fun and worth playing, I'll support it.
Oh yeah,
sure, absolutely. If I play it and 5 minutes in I shit the bed and I hate the game, I'll delete it and never touch it again. That's their fault. So,
agreed. Support the games that you like.
That's it. Mm-hmm. That's how they learn.
Ooh.
And this game does have a lot of replayability because I believe in the original, just the main kit, they give you 10 scenarios that they made. But there are also lots and lots of user-made scenarios that are online that use the pieces that you have for the different expansion kits. So you can specify what kit you have, and then you can get scenarios based on those pieces.
Plus, I can see just making stuff up on the fly.
Oh yeah.
I'd also like to point out that looking over, I see that Jay and Lauren have a douchebag jar, which is from the show New Girl.
It's with New Girl. This is what we got from Zoe Deschanel.
Oh, wow. Every house should have a douchebag jar.
Yeah, and there's actually money in it.
Yeah.
From Zach and from Lauren's brother.
Zach has contributed to the douchebag jar.
He said some awesome things.
I think it was somebody. You guys said something about what I was wearing, and then I made a joke like I was a hipster.
Yeah, we're like I was joking,
and there's like nah. Douchebag jar. I was like, but it was funny.
I saw. I went to.
So is your money.
I went to the Palatine Relays this morning and saw just an uber douchebag.
Was his hat sideways?
His hat was sideways. He had the awful fur, which is finally starting to trend out.
The boots with the fur?
No, his face.
Oh.
He was wearing a very tight shirt, and I was wondering what team he was on. He wasn't. He's dating a girl from Palatine. And
that was me.
Just uber douchebag. And I looked at him, and I looked at your sister, and I tapped her on the shoulder and said, that man over there has never in his life called any of his friends anything but bro. That's
I believe he has also said brah.
Yeah, what's up, brah?
What's up, brah? How's it going, brah?
It's tight. Stop it.
Or dude.
Dude is another. See, but dude comes back.
Dude, brah.
I've been back since. Dude has been around since I was in high school, junior high. And thank you, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, for popularizing Dude.
Well, at work I use Dude a lot just for my general talking to everyone, but now it's switched to Babe. Male, female, it doesn't matter. Hey, babe. What's up, babe?
You know what? For years we've been calling each other sexy and whatnot.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, sexy. Hey, how you doing? And
I don't get that. Is that something you're trying to tell me?
This is awkward.
Take the hint.
We gotta go. We're cutting it short today. Sorry.
Thanks for joining us tonight on the Apples in the Sink Zach's Not Sexy podcast. It's not at all because you're not sexy. It's just you're not sexy.
Oh.
At all. Period.
If I get electrocuted, it's because my tears have short-circuited the microphone.
You're good. These are insulated.
Oh, okay.
Far away.
Okay.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So anyway, that's pretty much enough about Zombicide, but a fantastic game. I highly recommend it if you're into board games, which we are.
That do take a while because you will get stuck in the corner and have to fight your way out.
I want you to tell us about this bar that you went to that I made the comic about this week, where you played Settlers of Catan. You listened to the Command & Conquer soundtrack. What did they have? Imported beer, or was it?
It was everything. It was microbrews, imports.
What was the name
and
of
the
this
food
place?
was awesome. Geek Bar Beta.
There cannot possibly be a better name for a bar designed for people like us.
Well, here's the thing: is I went downtown and we live somewhat near Chicago, so when you go down and hang out with friends, we'll bar hop, just go place to place in these neighborhoods to get food and good beer. We were walking back to my friend's house, and we went past this bar. I'm like, man, it's set up like card tables. Like, when you go to a comic shop and you just
Yeah.
have rows and rows of tables. I'm like, yeah, it's for like board games and card games, like Magic and stuff.
But it was a bar.
I didn't realize that. My friend Liz is like, oh, yeah, hey, it opens in an hour. Let's just go back. We chilled at her place, waited for her boyfriend to get home, and we went back out. And we got there at the right time because there was, I don't know what kind of expo, but there was either a comic expo or something because there was a bunch of cosplayers there.
Oh.
So we had a bunch of the Daredevils. There was an awesome Selena Kyle cat girl, I'll even say, from the Gotham, and a Gamora too, who is just dead on.
We're gonna talk about Gotham.
That's fine. We'll get to that.
Loving that.
So you walk up. They give you 2 menus. One menu is the beer and the food, and the other menu is just the games. And
No
they have
shit.
Yep. They have different levels because you have board games, card games, and then it goes from like beginner to intermediate and all the way to like Cthulhu. Or no, Arkham Horror.
Wow.
So that game that will minimum probably take you 8 hours.
Yeah.
So you have the games that'll take you 20 minutes, or you have the games that'll take you a couple trips.
Are you looking up their information? I'm going to look that up because I would love to put out. Let's just put their website out here for people to look up. So
no, it was a blast.
Geek Bar Beta.
Geek Bar Beta. I think that was the second location. I could be wrong. I don't know.
That would make sense with the beta.
Yeah, but the food was very, very good. We didn't have anything we didn't like. The beer selection is fantastic, and the games, like I said, it's not even just like a skill level. But a lot of it is just, hey, you're going to have fun with your buddies at the bar and not just playing, because, yeah, you'll go to some bars and like, oh, here's Scrabble or Bananagram. No, this is more like, as in the comic, we played Settlers of Catan, and I had just learned it, so that was very fun. And there's a bunch of other games, too.
That's fantastic.
Oh, and consoles. They have video game consoles that you can go up to the bar and actually play, and so I think they had everything from the NES, SNES to 64 to the original Xbox to 360, and they just vary.
Have you guys seen these replay things that you can get? They play. You can get them at different levels, but the one that's currently out plays NES, SNES, Master System, Genesis, 32X, all the way up to N64 games, cartridges, and it's one box.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Okay.
6 cartridge slots, but then the side is covered with controller ports because you got to plug whatever.
Does that mean you have to blow in all the ports? Because that would suck.
Oh.
God damn it! Which one has dust in it?
How many people remember blowing in their cartridges?
Yeah, not many.
It's broken.
My niece and nephews won't anymore.
All right,
no,
it's fixed.
No, they won't. Somebody was pointing out that if you watch a movie or if you hear about somebody who died in like the 1990s or something, they never made a cell phone call. They never looked anything up on their cell phone. It's just, I don't know what the point of it. Okay, so Geek Bar Beta. Address is 1941 West North Avenue, Chicago, Illinois, 60622. And Yelp gives it, fuck Yelp because I don't care. If you base where you eat on any given night by a goddamn Yelp review,
it helps. You just gotta pick and choose the BS.
They didn't like my cosplay. 1 star.
Seriously, that's it. If you're going to go by a Yelp review, look at the worst reviews, and you'll see that 9 out of 10 of them are, our service sucked. The guy wouldn't break my $100 bill. Well, you bought chiclets, you know, or some stupid thing where the customer was way out of line. It's the one where they say, yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw cockroaches. Okay, well then, all right, that's a negative review. I'm all on board with that.
had the one where I read it for a Japanese sushi restaurant that I wanted to go to, as everyone's raving about, and one of the like 1-star reviews was, it's everyone there's Japanese or Japanese American, and so this guy's pissed because no one will look him in the eye, and he's trying to stare all these people down. I'm like,
They're
Japanese. It's a cultural thing.
Oh.
I'm like, whatever.
At least it wasn't. They wouldn't cook my fish.
Yeah, fair point. I'm sure that would have been the other one too.
Yeah. The website is geekbarchicago.com, geekbarchicago.com, and 773-687-9824. Send us an envelope. So there's that. Check it out. Let us know what you think. Not that we care because we don't have these up on the web yet, but
Hey, eventually.
Yep. The first
In 3
podcast.
years.
The first podcast, Jason is finished.
First
editing.
two.
First
Thank
two,
you.
he finished editing. So
And when were those recorded?
Shut up.
like a month and a half ago. We're on a learning curve.
Okay.
So we're gonna get those. I'm gonna put those up. I'm not waiting to get the website up and running because it's. I'm gonna get those up on just the Apples in Sync Facebook page.
Can you?
Oh yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. Well, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make an iTunes.
Yeah, that we have to do.
Yeah, just an iTunes channel where you can just download the podcast from there, and then I can share the link on the AITS Facebook page. So
cool.
More and more businesses are doing stuff just straight through Facebook. It's ridiculous.
I really have a hard time with that. It's good for us right now because we're starting, but we really do need our own domain.
And we do have it. Apples in the
We
Sync.
have it, yeah, but I mean, we actually have to develop it now.
It exists and it has exactly
because guess
one
what?
comic on it.
Facebook is probably going to pull a MySpace or whatever the other ones were before that because the internet's an ever-changing thing.
Yeah.
That's why we need our place. Like the guys at Rooster Teeth or Penny Arcade or these other comics that are cemented. They have their own business because it's their own stuff.
Yeah.
Boy,
Oh, he did the head twitch.
Oh, no.
If I didn't want to hit the microphone, I would have done the hand snap too.
The Z snap?
Oh, no, you didn't.
At least it's not a Z job.
So let's talk about the movie that
I can totally afford that.
Probably the I don't know how they planned it this way, but the two biggest movies that are out right now, we have, of course, The Avengers: Age of Ultron.
If you start talking about that, I will leave.
I haven't seen it.
Okay.
Okay, good, because none of us have. I'm going
to see it tomorrow. I will tell you that it's got a 79% out of Rotten Tomatoes so far, which is stellar in my opinion.
I'm still going to enjoy it.
Yeah,
absolutely. It's I have thought about every one of the Transformers movies that I've seen. When I'm watching them, I've thought, I'm entertained right now. This is escapism, and I'm enjoying myself. And then later on, as a lifetime Transformers fan, I think to myself, well, that was dreck. That was awful. Yeah. The plot had more holes in it than Swiss cheese. Michael Bay needs to be executed twice. It's just awful. But
it really sucks, because that first one just was out of the water.
Great! The second one was okay, and then the third one shit the bed, and then the fourth one, ugh.
They've made 4?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mark Wahlberg was in the fourth one.
The fourth one with the Dinobots.
The Dinobots.
And it's just suddenly Dinobots. What? All right. So, yeah.
They were sleeping.
Apparently. They were in stasis or some shit. And it just angered me as a Transformers fan. So.
I was watching, Netflix, shocking. There was a fantastic British miniseries. It was 3 episodes called Our World War, and it just follows a couple different British soldiers or units in World War One.
The clicking noise you're hearing is me adding it to my instant queue.
Okay, well, it was amazing because I mean, it's not something, at least in this country, that we really touch on much besides like thinking of the Lusitania and
Pearl Harbor.
That wrong World War.
But First one.
Oh, World War One. Oh, I'm sorry.
There we go. Wait, did I get them wrong?
I'm pretty sure Pearl Harbor
was the Lusitania World War One?
I thought Lusitania was World War Two.
No, Pearl Harbor was World War Two.
It's probably, we should probably point out at this point.
We are not scholars at all.
The last podcast Jay just finished editing where we were uber geeky podcast number.
But we were wrong.
Oh, the one before the porn.
So yeah, we will get a lot of stuff wrong if you're listening to us. So just enjoy and egg us on. That's fine.
So what was the name of it? Our World
War. Fantastic, because it puts a perspective on something you don't really think about, like the modernization of war and between the machine guns and the tactics that they're using at the beginning, and within 8 minutes, 500 soldiers dead. You're like,
is this documentary or is it?
No, it's
drama.
Yeah, we'll call it a drama.
Okay.
I don't want to call it a drama.
Now I have to hit Wikipedia to look up the goddamn Lusitania.
Oh, God. I'm pretty sure I'm right.
I have no doubt that it's entirely possible that we're both wrong and the Lusitania was sank in fucking Vietnam. I don't know. We're about to find out.
The Kong Lusitania, yeah.
They tunneled underneath it.
Oh, God.
So, speaking of, what does everybody have at the top of their Insta queue right now? We talked about this with Nina and we haven't talked about it since then.
It's changed. I finished watching Mad Men and House of Cards, which, by the way, I was really lackluster with that. I was like, oh, okay.
Really?
Yeah, I love season 1 and 2, but you said the best when we were talking earlier is, yeah, those 2 seasons are about him getting the presidency, and now he has it.
I honestly, when season 3 started out, Have you watched? Do you watch House of Cards? I don't want to spoil anything for you.
No, I'm not.
All right. Are you planning on it?
No.
All right. Well, fuck you. The first 2 seasons were all building up to him.
Today.
What?
Nothing. Continue.
The first 2 seasons were him building up to becoming president, and then when end of season 2, he's president. And I thought to myself when season 3 was about to start, where can they possibly go from here? There's no higher thing to achieve. But there is a whole other level of intrigue and subterfuge that's involved with being president, so, good for that. By the way, the Lusitania was launched in 1906 and was torpedoed by a German U-boat in 1915. That would
World War One. Thank God I wasn't that off.
Ouch.
Those old brain cells just dying so much.
I have so many less. I'm 40, so...
Yeah. You're old. You should probably just hang it up.
All of my stories start with, when I was your age.
Back in my day.
You kids today with your rock and roll and your MTV and your Diet Soda Pop.
By the time that I was your age, I had 17 grandchildren.
By the time when I was your age, I was at least twice your age. What?
That doesn't make sense,
You're
Grandpa.
pretty tall for your height. Used to have to walk uphill.
Both
7
ways.
feet of snow. Both ways. How is that fucking possible? What spiral
Different
world
routes.
did you live in? My dad used to say, I used to walk with a drum set on my back. I don't think you're telling the truth.
That's a lie, sir. That's a rotten lie.
So House of Cards.
Yeah, I finished those. I'm trying to think what else. Oh, Chef's Table. It's a new documentary series just profiling each hour-long episodes of top-rated chefs around the world. It's very good. It's well done. Yeah, it's an actual Netflix original one.
Netflix's documentaries. They're hitting them out of the park.
Yeah, they are.
I would also like to say that there's a movie on Netflix now. I watched it recently called Chef, starring...
That was really good. I like that.
You saw that?
I did.
What's John Favreau?
Yes. And it also had his sous chef.
Yeah, it was John Leguizamo.
Yep.
Here's the thing. Here's how you know that John Favreau wrote, directed, and starred in the movie. Because in the movie, his ex-girlfriend is Sofia Vergara, I believe, from Modern Family.
Yes.
And that's his ex-wife, and his current girlfriend is Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah.
Only in a universe
where
you wrote and directed it could you make those two people be your lovers. It's just...
He's a talented guy.
He's a good guy. He knows what he's doing.
But no, it's a very good movie.
Very good movie, and it made me want a Cuban sandwich more than anything I've ever wanted.
No, I made yuca fries after that.
Now,
it's kind of like a potato.
Okay.
I mean, it tastes better. Like when I did it, it tastes better than potato. It's something else. It's a little bit more.
A good Cuban made panini style. You know, have you ever had a Cuban sandwich? I'm looking at
not a sandwich.
Wait. What was her name?
Her?
Whatever. We don't judge
whatever
here.
Floats your boat. Cuban sandwich is, it's usually made panini style, so you've got the thicker bread. It's got ham.
I remember.
Pork, Swiss cheese, pickles, and mustard. That's it. Toasted. Oh my God. And he makes it in this movie like a fucking art style. There's one more movie like that, and that's with Adam Sandler, who I'm not a huge fan of, but it's one of his dramas called Spanglish. And in the movie, he's a chef. And if you watch the special features, he asks the chef, who is his consultant, he says, if you were to come home, this is my Adam Sandler impersonation, if you were to come home at 2 o'clock in the morning and make yourself a sandwich, what kind of sandwich would you make? And the chef consultant guy says, all right, step back, watch what happens. And they filmed him making this, and that's what makes it into the movie. And it's, I can't describe it. It's some kind of sandwich with an egg over easy on it, and then when he cuts it, the egg kind of drips through the rest of the season. And he literally made this sandwich in like 5 minutes. And he says, this is the perfect snack sandwich. I'll make one for the entire crew. And the crew ate all these sandwiches, and it's a good looking sandwich. Spanglish is worth it just to watch Adam Sandler make this goddamn sandwich.
Yay, food porn.
Yeah. And that's something that happens, by the way, when you get past 20, food porn becomes almost as important to you as regular porn.
No, it really does.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how much like I'll watch food shows to the point where I have a library of also cookbooks and different types. I'll be watching these shows and I'll just pause. Lauren will be like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm gonna go make that." No,
Yeah.
you're not, because I have a stock pantry. I cook a lot and very often.
Yes, you do.
And I like to think I do it pretty darn well. And Lauren blames me for some other things because of the consequence of eating very well like that.
Yeah, my first fiance was Eastern European, where everything is baked and caked in fat and oil. And why would you skin the chicken first? What's the matter with you? And I put on my first year of college. I put on 50 pounds, and
Oof.
45 pounds of that was her. I'm serious.
Yeah,
You know,
it's just when you have good cooked meals. I mean, we try to do healthy here too, but I'll splurge. Oh my God. Oh yeah, we use the margarine. I'm like, no, you need butter. You need butter. You need heavy whipping cream. You need salt. You need all these things to make stuff flavorful.
If you want the best of both worlds between pornography and food porn, Everyday Italian with Giada De Laurentiis.
I don't.
She smiles so much, but I'm just going to go ahead and say it, and I'm going to put it as delicately as possible. I think her smile would look a lot better with my cock jammed down her throat. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
And then she's making a risotto in the background. I'm all in, you know?
Wow, she's really a multitasker.
She's really good at that. Wow.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
No, that's fine. No, just keep going. Oregano?
Little
whatever.
less cheese.
You're the chef. All right, fine. No mozzarella.
I myself am quite talented in the kitchen. I can make ramen.
Ooh.
No, he has his own rice cooker too.
Yeah.
Do you really?
Oh, actually, I do.
Yeah, you do.
Oh.
You lived off that in college.
Oh, yeah.
The shit that we ate in college. I would just
Pop-Tarts, a shit ton of macaroni and cheese, and ramen.
Just today, I ate a granola
without the
bar.
seasoning packet.
Yes, that would kill me.
Yeah. Nature's Valley. Oh, yeah, you got that sodium thing. And I had a Nature's Valley granola bar that I bought at the relays today that my goddaughter participated in. Palatine Relays, PHSOES. And I had so many of those in college that I told your brother-in-law's sister.
Okay.
All right. We're walking next to each other, and I'm eating this thing, and I'm saying, I'm eating this with hate. And she looks at me, she goes, what? And I said, I'm biting this, and every bite I'm just hating. I hate this to the bottom of my soul. Does it taste bad? Is there something wrong with this? And no, it's a goddamn Nature's Valley granola bar, and I fucking hate them, and I don't know why I'm eating it. Chomp, chomp, chomp. God damn it. Chomp, chomp, chomp. This fucking sucks. Chomp, chomp. I survived on those and Pop-Tarts, and then I found Au Bon Pain, which is a restaurant. Not a restaurant. It's sort of like a Great American Bagel Company sort of place. But more coffees and stuff. And it's sort of like if a Great American Bagel met Starbucks.
Oh, perfect. I'm in.
Yeah. And like every other day before class, when I had money, I would get a plain bagel with American cheese and sausage patties on it. So maybe my first fiance wasn't entirely to blame for the 50 pounds I put on, but
speaking of Great American Bagels, I worked there.
Yeah, that's why I mentioned it.
One of my favorite sandwiches that I would make myself, pretty close to that. It's the cinnamon raisin bagel.
Nobody else is
American cream cheese, American cheese, and then the sausage patty. The sweetness of the bagel tied with like the saltiness of that sausage patty, awesome.
I got to tell you that of all the
and egg. There was egg
cinnamon raisin bagels that I've had. Great American Bagels was fantastic.
Yeah, way
above par. I'm just saying. Here's another flavor combination that you might not have tried that I love and nobody else I know likes.
Is it chocolate and semen?
Close. Forget about the chocolate. It's dark chocolate.
Okay.
And lemonade.
Really, I could see it.
It's the sweetness and the sour and.
You know, it's also really good. Flavor profile would be chocolates and like chilies, like very very hot. If you get a Thai chili and a dark chocolate, oh yeah, boy.
Yeah. I was having a discussion with somebody who works for my wife, who is of African descent, and I mentioned something about she tossed me a dark chocolate that somebody had given her, And she said, I just don't like them. And I said, that's not you. It's an ethnic thing. I said, what? And I said, Caucasians are the only people on the planet that like dark chocolate, as far as I know. I don't know any Asians. I don't know any Africans. Nobody else likes dark chocolate. Just Caucasians. It's a thing. It's like, I'm pretty sure you're making that up. And I said, ask all your friends. Ask all your family. None of them like dark chocolate. I guarantee it. Okay? Turns out to be true.
Huh.
Yeah.
You should have done a study in the room. Let's see, do you like it? No. And I like it. There we go. Research proven.
Here's a research thing. You just brought this up because I mentioned something to my wife in her office, and I made a comment about how somebody said something to somebody, and it was like water off a duck's back. And she kind of tilted her head like when you try to explain algebra to a dog, you know, burp.
Nelly knows algebra.
You guys have heard that before,
She's
right?
a smart dog. Yes.
Okay. All right. Because I said water off a duck's back. You know, when you pour water on a duck's back, it just flows right off. She goes, I understand the concept. I've just never heard it before. Like, you've never heard water off a duck's back. And this guy walking by goes, I've heard that. I'm like, all right, well, there we go.
Consensus gathered.
There we go. I did my own little peer group.
So we talked about my Netflix queue. You guys, what do you got
Zach,
going?
you use Netflix, don't you?
Occasionally.
You're more just, you're the king of like YouTube.
Yeah, I usually just use YouTube.
I am a big fan of YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Old radio clips, shows that used to be on Netflix that aren't anymore. I've watched pretty much all of Penn and Teller's bullshit.
Oh, it's a great series.
I love that series.
Hell yeah.
They're
the only place where you can see a man's butthole when it gets waxed.
Was that one of their episodes? I love
Yeah.
their introductory episode where they talk about vaccinations and anti-vaxxers.
Oh yeah,
And they do the plate glass window, and fantastic show.
Mm-hmm.
I remember in my fire science classes, they showed us the episode where they talked about the World Trade Center and trying to design and build the new one.
Yeah.
And this is before the Freedom Tower got built, quite a while. This is when there was still just, unfortunately, the gaping holes in the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And they've done a great job, and I've been to New York since the tower's been completed, and it looks gorgeous. It's a beautiful monument.
From what I've seen on TV and online and everything, it looks
Oh my
beautiful.
God, it's awesome. And all the buildings there. But their take on it, because again, this was before those were built and even designed.
They
just said, fucking put the originals back up as a giant fuck you to everyone.
Put them right back up like it never even fucking happened. Brilliant. Absolutely. That was the answer. That's the way they should have done it.
It really is.
Not that, I mean, what they've done now, beautiful. It's outstanding.
And
it's also,
artistic.
Yes.
That's the thing, is it's unique, but
and
still...
I will say this. The original World Trade Centers, meh. They're just
when
very
they were
bland
designed.
structures, you know.
However, like how they were designed, because a lot of the weight was on the exterior walls, was open floor plan, and for a skyscraper, that was a huge deal.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I went in there. I had to have been. Oh boy, it was the year before my parents got divorced, so I was 7 years old when I went to New York. I vaguely remember going up into the Statue of Liberty. You couldn't go up in the arm because they hadn't refurbished it yet, but you could go all the way up to the head. Now you can go all the way up to the arm. That was 2 years in a row of bad trips, because the year before that we went to D.C. and you couldn't go up in the Washington Monument because it was too windy.
That's a thing?
Yeah. Apparently. I think they've refurbished it and it's not an issue anymore, but there was that whole thing. So what's your go-to on YouTube, Zach?
Well, I have a list of subscribed channels, and I usually just go to see if there's anything new.
Mm-hmm.
And if not, I'll go to either people that they work with that I'm not subscribed to see if they have anything new that interests me.
9 out of 10 cats.
That is,
I love that show. You got me into that.
British
Jimmy Carr.
Yeah, Jimmy Carr.
Oh my God, funny guy.
And then I also watch a lot of Minecraft stuff, and
Zach is our go-to Minecraft guy.
Yeah, he's our guru.
To the point of, not only did he build our on each of our levels, he built our zombie spawner, or our monster spawner.
Yeah,
so
passive
build
mob
XP.
spawner.
Mm-hmm.
But he also taught us that if you crouch, you don't fall off the edge of things.
We did hours of being just
Like
very special.
I watched them one day, and I was like, why don't you guys just crouch?
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
You can't fall off if you crouch. I hate myself. And it was separate situations. He told me, I was like, what? I told John, he was like, what? And then our friend Jonas.
Yeah.
He told Jonas, and Jonas about cried. Because he had almost finished his world.
It's like 2 years of work that I put into this place, and why don't you just crouch?
But no.
Fuck. I do love the YouTubes. I'm a big fan of
yeah.
YouTube channels. I do that. I watch, being a big Transformers collector, we're at a point now, which I never thought would happen in my lifetime, where before a figure comes out, there's like 3 or 4 online reviews of a Transformer, especially like the third-party ones, where if you're going to drop $200 on a figure, you want to, but even like the new stuff that comes up from Hasbro, hey, I've got the latest Combiner Wars figure, blah, 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 let's take a look. And they do the inbox, just like they would if they were opening up the new iPhone or something. Yeah. Here's what it is in the package. Here's out of the package. It's just...
Well, there's, I can't remember what it's called, but there's this thing where every month you get a package and it's got like geeky or nerdy stuff on it, and people do unboxing videos of its
box, loot crate.
Loot crate. There you go.
Yes, yeah. Love that.
Oh, do you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. There's one guy I follow, Piog, on YouTube. Does the loot crate, and every month it's the first couple ones that came out were just like, here's a bunch of shit in a box. Now they're all themed, and you can fold the box. Mm-hmm. Like there was one that was a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles theme,
that's
and
awesome.
You could fold the box that it came in to look like the sewer scene.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's really cool. Those are fun. Yeah. I'm YouTube's like my go-to as well, because I'm a big fan of Opie and Jimmy now, or what used to be Opie and Anthony. I don't have SiriusXM. I'm not going to pay for that, but I can YouTube old episodes, which are great, and every episode that day I can YouTube it usually by like 4 or 5 o'clock that afternoon. So I just listen to it as is. Boss leaves the office for a while and it gets really quiet in my office because it's just me and him. I'll have that going in the background.
See, I would always have that. Well, that's the nice thing is, like, part of my job is I read through EMS reports, make sure they're accurate, all the drugs and dosaging are right, or everything's documented.
He's a typesetter.
Sure. Modern era. But I listen to, like, my podcast to do it. So I'll listen to between Rooster Teeth's different ones, or why am I blanking? The one with Chris Hartwig, I can't.
Nerdist
podcast, thank you. Sorry, Chris. You'll never hear this podcast probably, but do enjoy your podcast and your interviews. And then Penn Sunday School with Penn Jillette. Holy cow, that's a funny one too.
Yeah, you told me about that, and I just started getting into it. By the way, if you have a chance, go on YouTube and look up Penn and Teller Cup and Balls. The Cup and Balls trick is...
Did we talk about
we talked
this?
about
Did we talk about that?
2 episodes
Yeah,
ago?
with the clear cup.
All right.
Just kidding.
Yes.
JKLOL.
Yeah.
However...
This is a rerun, by the way.
Yeah, now it is. There was an article on, I think it was Kotaku, which was really nice. It was about Terry Pratchett, of all people, who
passed away
which,
2 months ago?
Yeah.
Which is very sad.
It is, because I love the Discworld. Mm-hmm. But I was reading the article, and they're like, oh, what do you do to start off? And I thought about it, because when I read the Discworld, I was in high school. Like, I was very impressionable, and
Did I turn you on to that?
Jenny did.
I turned her, so she turned me on. Right.
But when I'm reading it,
John turned Jason on.
Duh, every day.
That's the first time that's happened.
And
hand check.
Why is no one's hands above the table?
Well, it's because I'm fondling myself.
Yeah, all right. But back to Discworld.
We're more multi-player than you are. So, the Discworld series, by the way, is a fantastic book series from Terry Pratchett, which is... imagine a Lord of the Rings style book with a Monty Python sense of humor.
It's all satirical. Well, I take it back.
And cat.
Later on, it is very satirical of everything that we do. Mm-hmm. Between gender and politics and government and
pictures, rips on movies. Each book has sort of a
religions.
Yes, all sorts of religions.
Pyramids, I think, was
small gods and
pyramids. Yeah. Uh-huh. And then you have, like, the Guards series, which is my favorite. All-time favorite. Is Guards and Death. Yeah. Death, who's an awesome character in himself.
Yeah. There's a couple, I don't know if it's on Netflix. There's a couple of Discworld movies.
There is...
Hog's Father.
Hogfather.
The Hog's Father.
Hog's Watch is the
book. It's Hog's Father.
Hog's Father is the character, but Hog's Watch is the...
I will go look it up. I'm pretty sure it's Hog's Father.
Okay, well, anyway.
If only we had... It is, and there's a couple other ones. They have, I think, Making Money.
Making Money was fantastic.
That was awesome.
Which was, towards the end... For those who don't know, Terry Pratchett passed away. He had Alzheimer's towards the end of his life, and it became very obvious that the last couple of books may have been partially or completely ghost-written. They just didn't have the same feel. But I would say like 4 or 5 books ago, he introduced a new character, which is like, we're going on 30 years worth of books here, and he pumps out a new character, like a main character, named Moist von Lipwig. And...
First off, great name.
Yeah. Hogfather. Okay, all right, you're right. Eat a dick. By the way, I would like to find out who sent me a box of dicks.
Was it a box or a bag?
It was a box sent USPS.
Well,
and you open it up.
You'll get a bag later.
You open it up, and it had a bag inside of it of gummy dicks with a sign on it saying, "Eat a bag of dicks." Sent anonymously from eatabagofdicks.com. Don't know who sent it.
Brilliant.
Love to find out. Fucking hysterical. I cried. I was laughing so hard, and nobody will fess up.
Especially because he says it all the time.
I say it all the time. So Terry Pratchett introduced this new character, and we're all just like, oh, great. Here's somebody else to wrap our head around. Great character.
It's one of his best.
Yeah.
Especially how he interacts with Commander Vimes.
Yes. Fantastic character. So... you were saying
I was reading these during an impressionable time, and I remember reading the Guard series because you told me to read that, and actually it still is one of my favorite. And just realizing how this book series like opened my mind to a lot of stuff, even though it's talking about like vampires and werewolves and dwarfs and dragons and all this stuff, but it's satirical. Yeah. I know, and it's awesome. And I remember being a stupid teenage boy and like in the stuff you say in high school, and it's very hurtful and arrogant, or not arrogant, but
as opposed to being a stupid 20-something boy.
Yeah, I'm just stupid on different reasons now. Yeah. But like that book opened up like you can't judge someone just because they look different. Because I think it was talking about the dwarves. Are you
saying that Carrot isn't a dwarf?
Fair point. Well, the main character,
Corporal Carrot.
Yeah, I'd say main
commander.
Character.
What is he now? Captain Carrot?
No, he's a commander now. I believe.
He's like basically what
Vimes was.
Anyway.
Yeah. But it just, like, this book series made me realize, like, oh, yeah, everyone has their own fucking struggles and problems. You don't be hating, yo.
That's one of those, when you're a kid growing up and a celebrity passes away, it's like, oh, it's sad, whatever, blah, blah, blah. You develop these attachments to certain celebrities, and when they pass away, like Robin Williams hit me way harder than I thought it would. Terry Pratchett gutted me. That was awful because I loved his books. Loved the way I love the way this guy thought, and I never fucking met him. If Neil Peart dies tomorrow, I will have the same reaction. Just you get so involved with a particular celebrity, you think you feel like you know them, and you don't. I would never presume that if I met these guys in public that I would be the guy who'd be like, oh, I love what you said about my book and blah, 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 and expect them to be my best friend or something. I'm not that guy. I know that there's a divider. But they become such a huge part of your life that when they're gone, it really fucking hurts.
Yeah, especially when they have 40-plus books.
Yeah. The Discworld series, holy crap, it just goes on and on. I'm glad you're a fan. I didn't know you had read those, Zach.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Did he get you wrapped up in that?
He did.
My tendrils go far. Ooh. Yeah, I remember one night, Jenny was, her and Dan were about to leave, and she was looking for a new book series to start. They'd been over to my house. I said, hold on a second. I went in, I grabbed Guards, and Weird Sisters.
Oh, she does like the standalones.
The witches.
Tiffany Aking's probably my tie with Guards.
See, my favorite characters are the witches.
Okay.
Granny Weatherwax, Nanny Ogg, and what is that one chick's name? I don't know. Anyway,
Witchy McWitcherson.
That's her.
Oh,
so, anyway, so we talked enough about the intricacies of Terry Pratchett, but why were we talking about that?
I just wanted to say that like it opened my mind to shit and not be as.
And he's talking about like vampires and how even though they can be like evil creatures and whatnot, sometimes they're not all bad or whatever. And when you look at it that way, then all of a sudden your stereotypes start getting chiseled away a little bit.
Have you either of you read the Chicagoland Vampires series?
No.
No. Is it kind of like Dresden Files stuff?
Similar. It's pretty much where we found out that one day vampires kind of announced themselves to the world, and so they got pushed into the public spotlight, and they're trying to deal with the politics of living alongside humans.
Mm-hmm.
But there's other.
This is a book series.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. There's other species as well, but they really haven't announced themselves, so they kind of stay hidden.
Chicagoland Vampire.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of a big risk considering that Dresden is a huge presence in the sci-fi world right now. If I had to release a sci-fi series right now, sure as hell wouldn't take place in Chicago.
Right. Yeah.
I'm still interested though.
Oh yeah, I'll check it out. I will absolutely check it out.
And then it's like, oh yeah, no, there's all these great bars, but they're actually owned and operated by vampires because vampires they need to let loose.
Oh, okay.
From the pains of having to put up and pretend to be human so that they're not persecuted or killed because not all of them are super strong or super fast. Some of them are just like barely stronger than humans and faster than them.
I gotta check that out. I had an idea there were 2 ideas for book series that we were trying to get off, but we've been focusing mainly on Apples in the Sink. And one of them was a sci-fi series about a space station mining colony that orbited Jupiter. That's a whole thing, and it was kind of Deep Space Nine in that the station was basically falling apart every day, and they were busting their ass to keep the place running. The other one that I had was about a group of paranormal, I would call them paranormal paramedics, basically, and their job is to go out anytime there's some sort of paranormal incident. They go out, fix it, make it look like it never happened.
Mm-hmm.
And each town has one of these teams that's funded by the government, and it's worldwide, but the team is made up of paranormal characters. And it was going to start out by a computer hacker getting found out, and they draft him to be on board this team. And he's a normal human. He would be the only normal human of the team, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he ends up on a team with like a werewolf, a vampire, an angel, a demon, and I don't know what else. And the whole concept came to me because I love the idea of a bunch of paranormal creatures sitting around a table bitching about a benefits program, like their healthcare program or something, and like getting pissed off because why do I have to pay extra for dental? I'm a ghost. I don't even have teeth. And then the vampire being like, you want to talk about fucking dental? Okay, don't even start on the dental program. I got 2 extra canines, and I don't know. I thought it was funny. I just can't get it past that point.
It would be funny.
Yeah.
You just gotta get the higher arc.
Yeah.
And we were John and I were working on that sci-fi space one.
It was originally going to be a starship and then a space station.
Well, that's the thing is I started writing like a side story on that same universe because we developed the universe. We already have that part. But I was going to just follow like a ship. And it was going to be kind of sort of like almost Das Boot.
Oh.
Kind of just following like this ship and the crew.
In German.
Yeah, it's all in German. Space Germans, space U-boats.
The Germans finally won. Forget Firefly, it's Germany that won the war, not the Americans or the Chinese. Oh, boy.
What was that movie with the Germans had the moon base?
No.
Iron Sky?
No. Oh, yes, it was.
Was it?
I totally forgot about that.
Have you guys watched, what is a Netflix series about the zombie Nazis?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, in
the movies. There's 2 movies.
Red Dead? No.
Red.
I know what you're talking about.
Red vs. Dead is the second one.
Oh my god, and it was
And
so
the first
funny.
one
I
is,
loved
I think
it.
it's called Dead Snow.
Yes,
Dead Snow.
Dead
That's
Snow.
it. That's it. Yeah, I haven't watched
hilarious.
it. Are they good?
Oh my god, they're
great.
funny.
Speaking of hilarious horror movies, Jay and I have watched it. I don't know. Have you seen Tucker and Dale versus Evil?
No,
With
see
Alan
it on
Tudyk
Netflix a lot.
Check
but
that
I
shit
It's
out.
I
so
haven't
good.
watched it yet.
It's from
So good.
It's from the perspective of the standard horror movies where the college kids go out to the cabin in the woods for the night and slowly get picked off by a couple of psychotic rednecks.
Are we watching from the view of the psychotic
This is
rednecks?
from the view of the psychotic rednecks, and these stupid goddamn college kids just keep fucking dying in the most ridiculous ways.
Around them.
And the redneck's like, I don't know what keeps happening here.
I think it's the Suicide Pact.
And it stars Alan Tudyk, so
Yeah.
you gotta love that. So Wash from Firefly.
I
Okay. I didn't know.
No,
I
that
cannot-
was hilarious.
I
I
cannot
love that
always
show.
assume that everybody knows the cast of Firefly as well as I do. You know,
Hearts and Souls.
I know I don't have a shrine to them like you do, but
I am a leaf on the wind.
I could kill you with my mind. I still
Can't
call things shiny. I'm like, oh, that's shiny.
Can't really do that, can't you? Oh, lordy. My Netflix instant queue. You know what? MASH. I'm burning through MASH because here's what I'll watch. I'll watch Doctor Who, just for the hell of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I just want to have something on the background while I'm drawing or something, nothing better than MASH. Because you can have it on in the background and not pay attention, and then when you feel like paying attention, you're instantly there. Because I know all the episodes verbatim. You know, I'm instantly there, and I'm instantly laughing at the one-liners or whatnot, and then I'm back to what I'm watching. And then every once in a while I watch whatever movie. I haven't started season 2 of New Girl yet. That's how far behind I am. I think season 3 is on TV right now.
No idea. I really didn't get into it. Lauren
really?
loves it, and just
it's pretty funny. And plus Zoe Deschanel.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Yeah. I would just do awful things to her. I can't tell you how many ways I could disappoint her sexually. Just
let me
staggering.
count the ways.
Oh boy. Yeah.
It would start off with like, oh, that's cute.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you had fun.
What's
so
your little
furry.
guy's name?
Oh, that hurts. Oh, there's only one? You know what, lady?
Hey there,
I had
little
cancer.
guy. What's your name?
Oh, he's so cute.
Oh, he's hiding. He just went back in.
Oh.
He's like a turtle.
Oh my God, you're turning red.
So do you have some kind of oil or something that we use?
Does he get bigger?
Oh, you're a girl too?
I found this was through internet research, not through personal experience.
Oh.
But the ultimate comeback when a girl says, "Is it in?" is I can't tell. basically like throwing
Hot
a lawn
dog.
dart down a hallway. Okay.
Oh God.
Ugh, women suck. No, I'm just.
I
Where did that
mean,
come from?
I don't know.
I'm not bitter at all.
Especially if you pay him.
Dear.
Oh lordy.
I'm trying to think. You know what I'm waiting for? Because I want to get into games real quick.
Mhm.
Because I don't want to. This is gonna sound weird. I don't want to pay full price for a single player game with no multiplayer for Sir Wolfenstein.
Wolfenstein, the last.
Because
Wolfenstein.
I've heard great things about it, but I'm like, if I'm only gonna play a single player, and I'll probably only play it one time through, I'm gonna wait till there's a sale or something.
You have an Xbox Gold account, right?
Yeah.
Stick around long enough.
Oh, I know it'll come back because it was
for like $19 or something. Yeah, I missed it.
Yeah, same.
And I ended up paying, and I missed it, and I looked up the reviews online,
and it's just fantastic.
And so I had it decided in my head that I'm just going to download the game, and I missed the sale where it was like $19.99 or something.
Mm-hmm.
But I had convinced myself that I needed this fucking game, so I just downloaded it. Still glad I bought it.
Oh yeah,
it's fantastic.
Well, I say that because there's going to be a prequel to it released shortly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think this month actually,
or
the summer release date. I don't know.
I'm
But it's coming out soon, and so yeah, if there's not a sale, I'll probably pick it up anyways because I've just heard great things, and you loved it too.
As far as single player games you go, yeah, that's and I'm the old school where I still, when I get a new game, like when the new Halo game comes out, when Halo 5 Guardians comes out, I will burn through the campaign before I even think about going on multiplayer. Because that's how it was. Everything was single player back then. The original Wolfenstein didn't have any multiplayer, and Doom did, but you had to do a LAN, and it was a whole thing, and ugh.
Room full of hot, sweaty guys and no ventilation.
We used to run.
Sounds like a Friday.
We ran a LAN cable from Dave Mack's house to his cousin Linus's house.
Holy shit!
Through the trees next door.
Holy shit!
Yeah, we ran a fucking cable.
How much was that back then? That wouldn't have been cheap.
Well, it was 20 years. I mean, it wasn't cheap, you know, and ugh.
But was it worth it?
To play Doom? Fuck yeah! Fuck yeah, it was worth it. Oh shit! We had 3 people over at his house and 4 people at Dave's house, and we're playing on 4 different computers, and ugh, absolutely worth it. I
do miss LAN parties. Like it's something when you actually have all these people together over, eating, drinking, and just playing a shit ton. With us, it would be StarCraft.
That was your big LAN
Oh,
game?
we always played StarCraft.
Were you part of that?
Yeah, a couple times.
I was mainly when we did the Halo ones.
Oh, we did those too. Because we'd have 3 Xboxes, 3 TVs.
We did that for Pat's bachelor party. We had
that was where I got the idea from.
We did
Mechasalt.
Halo and Mechasalt. Oh
his
my God.
number one complaint about his bachelor party is that we couldn't finish that Mechasalt bracket that we had.
I will tell you, as far as LAN parties go, Mechasalt is an awesome game.
Yeah,
it's
it is.
I mean, it's a fantastic game as it is, but just for a LAN party,
we played video games at Pat's bachelor party?
Yeah, we had the TV set up in the basement, in Dave's basement. We had the giant screen.
Oh yeah, I remember Jonas invited the stripper to play.
Yeah,
that's adorable.
Mm-hmm. Well, and here's the thing though, that stripper showed up, and like there was 4 of us standing in a circle talking, and somebody was mentioning something about the Static X's Wisconsin Death Trip, and this stripper who had tattoos in all the right places. And
stripper number 2.
Yeah, and a couple of piercings. Not. I'm sorry, she wasn't the stripper. She was one of the topless waitresses.
So the first
one? Because the strippers performed on each other.
Oh, yeah, okay. So that was number 2.
The topless waitresses were the ones who you could pay to do nipple shots and whatever.
Okay, so 1 and 2 were the topless waitresses.
Yeah, so
and
topless
3 and 4
were the strippers. Yeah.
Okay.
She shows up, so we're talking about Wisconsin Death Trip, and she turns around real quick and she goes, "Best album that came out that year by far." And Dan looks at me and goes, I'm like, so we started chatting it up with this naked girl about, and we're talking about, Static X and heavy metal and everything. She's like, it really reminded me of like something off of Ozzy's Boneyard and blah, blah. Oh my God, this chick is fucking metal. And yeah, that was a good party. There was, and this was mentioned in the comics, there was a company called Leather and Lace that's out in the McHenry area. I think they're McHenry, aren't they? Crystal Lake?
I don't know.
Okay.
Dave actually has their card.
Yeah, they supplied the female entertainment.
Oh yeah, I still have those cards.
Yeah,
nice 80s.
They're
too.
like trading cards.
There was a 2-summer period. What's wrong? Oh, I'm sorry. There was a 2-summer period where we had it had to have been like 8 bachelor parties at Dave's house, and one time we just had a party for the hell of it. And so we had strippers and naked people just all the time, and it was fantastic. Not including you. And so it got to the point where like they would show up and be like, "Hey, how you doing, guys?" And I ended up going to a bachelor party. Dan and I went to a bachelor party for a mutual friend, an old high school buddy of ours that was at the Alumni Club, what used to be the Alumni Club in Schaumburg, Illinois, right on the border of Palatine. Anyway, great little bar. Had an upstairs area that I didn't know about that was a private party room. So we're up there and drinking and having a good time, and all of a sudden the strippers show up, and oh, hey, look what we got here. And then there's the topless waitress and everything. And the topless waitress walks in, and it's this blonde girl, and I recognize her. I'm like, oh. And I tap Dan on the shoulder, and he's like, "Hey, is that so-and-so?" And then her John walks in, he's like, "Oh my God, guys, how you doing? Haven't seen you in a while." And then the blonde looks, she goes, "I thought I recognized you. You're from that place out in the country that we have." Like, "Oh yeah, I'm so-and-so." And we chatted for a bit, and then she did her thing for a couple hours, and then we kept chatting with her periodically, and on our way out, she's like, "Okay, nice seeing you guys." I'm like, "Yeah, we're going to have another party in a couple months or something. I'm sure we'll see you." "Okay, look forward to seeing you. Bye, guys." And they walk out, and the John walks out, "Hey, guys, see you around," and leaves. And one of our high school friends comes out to us like, "Did you guys just get recognized by a fucking stripper?" And Dan's like, "Well, it's not like." I'm like, yes, we did. This is the coolest thing that's going to fucking happen to you all goddamn night. Yes, we got recognized by a stripper, okay? True story.
We were just that good.
We were, yeah.
Hey, that's a high point to end on.
That is a fantastic.
Because we're at that point. Thank you for listening. This was our 5th podcast. Hope you enjoy it, and stay around for our next couple ones.
Check us out on Facebook.com at Apples in the Sink. And thank you.
Bye-bye.